This is your first piece of work. What is vulnerability? Yeah? It really is a feeling of maybe being exposed or exposure. That feeling of risk. Yeah? I'm at risk here, whether that's emotionally or physically. Exposure to something bad going wrong or something that I might not want in my life, that can feel vulnerable. Or a feeling of uncertainty, even out of control. Yeah? So when we're thinking about what is vulnerability, those are the sorts of things that we think of. Now, as we know, the obvious, thought leader in this space of vulnerability is Brené Brown. Over the last 9 years or so, she's come into our world and on the global landscape talking about vulnerability and shame, yes? And so when she talks about vulnerability, she's also acknowledging this is the definition of vulnerability. It doesn't feel good. It's not something that we wake up and go, awesome, I can't wait to feel vulnerable today. It's not how we live our lives. So that there is this feeling of uncertainty and risk, yes? There's no getting away from that. Here's the thing though. In every area of your life, whether that's your health and well-being, so I hope you're writing this down, your health and well-being, whether it's our work and our leadership, whether that's home relationships, personal relationships, so that's our intimate partner potentially, our children, our extended family, that might be our creativity. So we're looking at areas of our life, yeah? Financial or finances, and also friendships. So in every area of our lives, there's this space of comfort, but then it gets to a point, yeah, where it starts to feel vulnerable in every area, yes? So for example, in our health and well-being, there might be an area we feel comfortable, a certain level of exercise, a certain kind of lifestyle around our food. But when it gets into maybe taking the next step in our health and well-being, or facing an illness, or having to deal with something that's actually really not working in our body, instead of ignoring it, when we start to think, how am I going to deal with this? I need to get better, or I need to fix something that's not, especially after this last few months. I know when when I'm going to get back to the gym, it's not going to be easy for a while. I'm going to feel a bit vulnerable, yes? So that feeling, we have a comfort level, but then we get to a certain point and it starts to feel vulnerable and we start to fly back or bounce back, yes? In our work, it might be with a certain kind of meeting or a certain project that we're managing that feels really comfortable, but once we get to a certain point, it starts to feel scary and vulnerable and we bounce back, yes? So it also might be managing a certain number of people, or a certain type of expertise that you're bringing might be comfortable, but another area where you don't feel as experienced or have as many skills, that might feel vulnerable and you start to bounce back, yes? We start to run away. In our intimate relationships, we might feel comfortable talking about some things, so again, comfort, we start talking about some things and we don't feel so comfortable when we get to this point. Maybe in a new relationship, I'm not ready to talk about that, or an existing relationship, I'm sick of talking about that, and so I bounce back. It could be we are happy making love with the lights off, very comfortable, lights on, vulnerable, bounce back, right? So in our creativity, we might feel really comfortable in an area where we've done a lot of work in photography, or for me, it's in writing. But then when we get to a certain level, we feel vulnerable and we bounce back. So you get the picture, yes? So in every area of life, there's a feeling of comfort, and then there's a feeling of, oh, this doesn't feel so good. I feel exposed here. I feel like there's a risk I'm taking. There's uncertainty. I'm not feeling in control anymore, because this is very much about control, this piece here, isn't it? I feel, as I said, out of control. So all of those examples in here of all these areas are where we might feel vulnerable, okay? I'd like you to start to think about, what are those pieces for you where you start to feel vulnerable? Now, in his book, The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks talks about this as being the upper limit. Now he talks about this as a thermostat. You might have heard this analogy before, where our limiting beliefs or where we feel comfortable allow us to go to a certain level. Anything else, the thermostat will bring us back down, yes? So we're going to, so he'll call it, what I'll call here, the upper limit. So that there is our upper limit in any area of life where we're no longer feeling comfortable. And so when we get to that upper limit, we'll bounce back with, here's the thing, we'll numb, we'll resist, we'll make excuses for, yeah, we'll run away from, we'll deny. All of those things feel really valid, and we'll have valid conversation or narrative in our head to tell us why we should retreat, because it's starting to feel a bit scary and it's starting to feel a bit vulnerable. And so, well, talk about vulnerability. I think we just disconnected for a minute there. So maybe you took the opportunity to make some more notes. So I'm hoping that you can hear us again. Apologise for that disconnection. And just let me know in the chat box that you're all good. We're back? Thank you. So what I was saying, now I'm not sure where we got cut off, so I just want to repeat this bit. At some point in our lives, in every area, the comfort is we're going to have the edge of comfort. It's called the upper limit, as Gay Hendricks calls it in his book, The Big Leap, the upper limit of what feels good. And then as soon as it starts to feel a bit vulnerable in that area of our lives, we're going to retreat. Bounce back, resist, make excuses for, deny. There's going to be a narrative in our head that tells us, and it feels right, that we should retreat. Are you with me? So this area of vulnerability feels wrong. It feels like, why would I want to go there? This feels comfortable to me. But guess what? What happens when we don't lean into vulnerability? Like I was sharing with you before, with the woman who came to me for coaching, it can turn into, now I've just got to work harder to get over this bit, right? Because what we think, and we trick ourselves into thinking, is that we can skip this bit and we can go all the way over here to ideal land or fabulous place, right? And we think that we can skip this bit, right? We trick ourselves into believing. What this is over here and where we want to move into, this is real connection. This is when we can be all that we are and all that we're not, without apology, without explanation or justification. We don't have to clip our wings to be accepted, to be listened and to be heard, yes? So this is true connection available here and intimacy in a way that we haven't experienced before. This is about community. This is about joy and love. This is about feeling easeful and relaxed, yeah? This is about confidence and feeling free. These are all the things that we all want, yes, as human beings. That's what we're all searching for. What we do is we go, oh yeah, comfort, 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 comfort. Surely I can just skip this bit and get to there. And that's where we come into the working hard. Surely if I just work harder, try harder, yeah, do better, be a better person, do the right thing, live into the expectation and obligation that other people have of us, surely one day we'll arrive here, yes? You're getting it, that formula is not adding up. It certainly didn't add up for me, right? But usually what we do as human beings is we wait for a wake-up call. So that could be burnout, illness, injury, accident, tragedy, breakdown of relationship. Something has to wake us up usually, unfortunately, as the human condition, to go, you know what, this formula is not working. Somehow I thought that I could get to here through hard work and trying and being a good person, and it's not happening. So now I've got to now start to look at what is the missing piece.